Trump's new border czar and former ICE director Tom Homan is putting together an aggressive new anti-immigration agenda. It includes bringing back family detention centers that were phased out under the Biden administration and forcing undocumented parents to choose between leaving their U.S.-born children, U.S. citizens, behind or being deported altogether. But don't take our word for it. Here's what Homan had to say to NBC News this Thursday.
Look, family detention, if we bring it back, it's on the table. We haven't finished the plan yet. If you choose to have a child here in the United States while you know you're here illegally and you know you're on a court order to deport, that's on you.
Joining us now, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, a Democrat from Texas.
Good to see you, Congresswoman. Great to have you back on the program. So let's just get to the bottom line. Homan noted that he wants to launch a separate campaign to locate more than 300,000 teens and children that he and other Trump allies have frequently described as missing. The goal being to bring back these detention centers to deport people. What's your take on what Americans need to really get themselves set for come January 20th? Because I think a lot of that begins to get rolled out at that time.
Yeah, I honestly don't know how to prepare for this fiasco, right? Like, we know that we just heard him really change what he had been saying before, right? So again, I kept saying they don't really have a plan. Like, they're just out here and, you know, they were having these rallies and they basically were like, kick them all out. But before he said, no, everybody gets deported, even the U.S. citizen, right? And now he's saying, well, I'll give them the option. Yeah, because you can't kick somebody out who's a U.S. citizen. Like, you can't do that, right? So, like, my point that I have been making is that they don't really know what they're doing. They really have just been trying to serve up this red meat, not to mention they are not talking about cost, right? We know that DOGE is all about cutting costs. They have not started to address how expensive something like this is going to be, not just from actually the manpower side of this, but as an attorney, all I can think about is all the litigation that we are about to enter. Now, mind you, they want to defund the DOJ and every part of it. So, I mean, they have no real plans. And what I want people to do, because clearly they forgot what it was like to live under Trump for the 4 years that we had him, is I want you to mark that calendar on your phone. I want you to mark everything that they say. Just like they said that they were going to build that wall and we never saw the wall get built, I want you to mark your calendar and talk about how important it was for these people to be sent out of this country to keep the price of your groceries down or to keep the price of your housing down. And I also want you to tell me what you saw in your communities. I want people to remind themselves.
It does seem as though that people have forgotten not just how chaotic it was, but how many promises that Donald Trump made and how many promises he didn't keep and which ones he did keep. You know, there's a windy road from build a wall in Mexico, gonna pay for it, to infrastructure week that never happened, to but we're gonna repeal Roe, which did happen with the Dobbs decision. On this, on this point about the deportations, they're talking about using the military as a force multiplier. This is what Tom Homan is saying. He said on Friday, said that he views the military as a force multiplier that can help with transportation, administrative duties, intelligence analysis, and building infrastructure such as large tents that could serve as short-term detention facilities. Do Democrats in Congress have a concern about the administration essentially directing the military in this way?
I don't know about Democrats on the Hill in general, but I personally absolutely have a problem with that. I mean, that's not what you signed up for, right? And we know that we right now are struggling to get more people that want to enlist in the military, and I wonder why, right? But we need to make sure that we are safe, as we've got, you know, the wild one entering the White House for a second time and talking about what he wants to do to Canada, making, you know, unveiled threats to Panama, you know, all these things. Like, we probably need our military to stay where our military is. And I think that Americans take it for granted that we do have friends to the north and the south, unlike some people that are landlocked and don't necessarily have friends all around them. We have water that protects us. let's not get it twisted and believe that everybody in the world loves America. If you leave this country, you will find out how well loved we are. So we need our military doing what the military is supposed to do, which is to keep us safe. And I'm sorry, this little random project that they have is not where it's at.
Congressman, we've got about 30 seconds left. You think Mike Johnson's going to be Speaker in 2 weeks?
Well, I don't think he's going to get elected on Friday, which is the day that we swear in on January 3rd. But, honey, they went to the bottom of the barrel to find him in the first place. So I don't know how much deeper they can dig. But let me tell you, as y'all have seen, they are not on the same page, and they now have a slimmer majority. So I don't know when we'll get a speaker, but I definitely don't think it'll be round one. And my money is actually on them finally realizing that the only person they have is Mike Johnson.
Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, as always, thank you so much for being with us.